Socialism is a theory or system of social organization which advocates the vesting of the ownership and control of the means of production in the community as a whole. So, do you have any property under socialism? No, it's not your car. It's our car, and we are letting you use it. It is not your house. It is our house, and we're going to volunteer to let you borrow it. Do you have any property in socialism? No. If you have no property, guess what? You have no rights. Where do rights derive from? Property. Communism is a theory or system of social organization based on the holding of all property in common. It's not yours. That's why communism is bad. That's why we're against socialism. Not because they've got a red flag or because they march funny. Because they're taking all of your property away. And when they take all of your property away, they take away all your rights. Let's flip to the next page. Well, let me stop and do a quote from Winston Churchill on page 11. Winston Churchill said, "If you are 20 years old and you are not a socialist, you have no heart. If you are 40 years old and you are still a socialist, you have no brain." Now, what's Churchill trying to tell us? Well, if you're 20 years old and you're listening to the advertising for socialism, what does socialism say? We're all going to have health care. We're all going to have education. We're going to just live together. Everybody's just going to share everything. And we're all going to sing Kumbaya. Socialism is wonderful. How many people want to vote for wonderful socialism? Well, when you're 20, yeah, you're idealistic. We just want everybody to love each other. Isn't that great? Where's all that health care coming from? Where's all that free education coming from? Well, the government. Where does they get the money from? Oh, I finally figured it out 40 years later. That's not very much fun. So when you're young and stupid, socialism sounds like a great idea. When you finally grow up, hopefully not too late, socialism sucks. Let's go to page 12. I have the entire Communist Manifesto summarized here on page 12. Now, in the middle 1800s, somebody asked Karl Marx, what would you need if you were going to start a communist government from scratch? Just clear the playing field, blank slate, you're going to build it from the ground up. What are you going to need? What are the things that you would want to have in order to make this a perfect communist government? The Communist Manifesto is the answer. It's not very long, basically just a term paper. Read it. Why? Because I want you to be a communist? No, I want you to know how they are attacking you. You have to understand the enemy. The 10 planks of the Communist Manifesto. Plank number 1, abolition of private property. No property, no rights. If I stand up on a soapbox and I say, I'm going to start a government where I'm going to take all of your rights away, how many people are going to volunteer? Nobody with half a brain. So now Karl Marx stands on a box and says, I'm going to start a new government and we're going to take everybody's property away. They're signing up like flies. I mean, they're just, yeah, pick me, pick me. You know, that basically the problem is you don't understand that property and rights are related. If they take your property, you have no rights. And once you understand it, then you understand why communism is evil. It's not just a personal opinion. It's evil. We're taking your rights away. Now, the other 9 planks to the Communist Manifesto are basically just methods for doing the first thing. How are we going to take your rights, property away? Well, number 2 is a heavy progressive income tax. A progressive income tax means the more money you make, the higher the percentage. Do we have a progressive income tax in the United States? Yes. Can you say IRS? They don't put the percentages, they change it and they convert it. If you make between $5,000 and $10,000, this is how much you pay. You make between $10,000 and $15,000, this is how much you pay. And they give you the number. Well, get your calculator and figure it out. The more money you make, the higher the percentage. What do you think the highest percentage the IRS has ever collected? Right now, I think the top percent is about 33%. What do you think the maximum was that IRS has ever collected in history?
98.
98%. How did you know that?
I don't remember reading it somewhere.
Okay. Between 1941 and 1942, during World War II, there were some people who were taxed 98%. That's almost all. How come we didn't have another American Revolution? The hell with the Germans. I'm going to get my gun and start fighting here. You're going to take 98% of my stuff? You're going to have to take it. If you think you're big enough to take it, come right on ahead. But I'm not going to give it up. That's ridiculous. Abolition of all rights of inheritance. If your parents die, the government is going to take half. Why? What did they do to get half? They just want to make sure that your parents don't leave you $1 million so that you can get more and more money. It's a lot easier to become a multimillionaire if mom and dad leave you one to start with. We don't want that to happen. Confiscation of all property of immigrants and rebels. You ever fly internationally? You got to fill out a card. If you're carrying more than $10,000, they'll take it. You want to leave the United States and go live someplace else? Goodbye. Leave all your money here. I have friends that want to move to New Zealand. They are trying to figure out a way to put their money in an offshore account so they can keep their money. A central bank. We're going to talk about the Federal Reserve. We can go right on down the line. 10 out of 10 items in the Communist Manifesto are here in the United States right now. Did you know that you live in a communist country? Are you glad that you live in a communist country? What are you going to do about it? We've got to draw the line somewhere. Now, I don't have time to go into it in too much detail. However, I do have a videotape called The 10 Planks. It's a 1-hour video, and it goes into a lot more detail on the Communist Manifesto. And you can get in touch with me, and I can give you one of those. What we'll do is we'll take another 10-minute break. We'll get started in 10 minutes, so don't go wandering off too far, because we've got a lot of material to cover. Thank you.